Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is the daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and today we're going to be talking to Dwaine Pretorius. So, I wanted to do an interview with someone that was on the culture camp and one of the senior players that actually has been in a few of these type of things and has seen a lot of this over the years. And I wanted to know what excites him about that new generation. So in this episode, I chat to Dwaine Pretorius. He gives me some insights into what happened at the culture camp and how excited he is about the future of South African cricket. He's also giving me some insights into what domestic cricket is like in the future of domestic cricket and the senior players' roles in cricket in South Africa to take our cricket to the next level. So without further ado, here's my chat with Dwaine Pretorius. Okay. So as promised, guys, I'm here with Dwaine Pretorius and really excited about this one. It's the first time that he's actually doing one of these type of video call type of interviews with me. So it's quite interesting. Obviously, with the COVID situation, we have to change the way we do these things. So I think the last time we spoke was at the Paul Rocks launch, eh?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that feels like years ago.
Yeah. So, Dwayne, obviously, we know that the culture camp was recently, and a lot of fans were really excited about getting into some details about it and some insights into it. Obviously, we don't know what really went down there. There were some press releases that were released about from Rassi, etc., talking about it. But I wanted to get your view on it. How was it, first of all? What was it like? Was it a new experience, or is it something that you have experienced before?
I think most franchises and cricket teams do have these culture camps, but I believe this one was one of the most open ones that I've been to, and I think every guy there had the opportunity to really raise his concerns, and I think, as far as I'm aware, most guys came from there feeling like we've definitely gotten somewhere, and that we are starting to understand each other's, what do you call it, struggles, if you want to call it that, and challenges. And so I think everyone has a better idea of where everyone stands. From myself to everyone feels like it was or I believe everyone feels like it was a good one. I believe it was a good one, and I think it'll definitely keep us in good stead.
What sort of activities do you guys do? Is it a lot of like team building type of things? What type of things do you do?
So actually, no, it's more like a, what do you want? The mornings was quite hectic, straight talk, everything that bothers everyone, stuff that maybe could influence performance, like outside stuff. For instance, how we might deal with goalbacks when they get back, if they want to come back. Obviously, transformation, BLM, all those type of things we chatted about. Everyone had an opportunity to air their concerns, and I think a lot of the people actually did participate, and it was good hearing from a lot of the people.
Yeah. So if you could give a message to the fans maybe on how we can help actually promote what you guys are trying to become like as a team and the identity you guys have as a team. I think the fans also have a role to play in that. Is there any message you can give to the fans on how we can help you guys implement the things that you've learned?
Um, it'll actually be tough, but I think the biggest one is trying to understand why players do certain things, and not necessarily judge so quickly. I think as fans, we think, I've been a fan my whole life as well, so I think we tend to judge too quickly, before understanding why certain people do certain things. And even as a player, I've been guilty of that. So I think just that judgment part, and I know it's easy to comment on Twitter and Facebook and make a post and abuse someone, or take them on for a stance they have taken. I think it's important that as fans, and including myself, that we first of all just realize that, you know what, there might be a different reason for a player doing a certain thing, and trying to understand that first before just going to the social media streams and just abusing whichever player it might be. I think that's the important thing, because after all, we do understand we've got a responsibility to our fans, and representing the whole of South Africa, not just one part or two parts of it. And that, as a player, we really try and do, it's not always easy. We're not always going to get it right. We're not always going to please everyone. But from a fan base, it'll be great if guys don't judge before understanding, and if there is uncertainty in a stance a player has taken, maybe just first try and understand and ask the question. Like, well, Dwaine, why have you said that? Instead of just, well, Dwaine said this, now we react. That could be something that the fans can do. And I mean, obviously, whenever we can rock up again at the games as players, we can't wait for that to happen. And then obviously as much as support as possible. We're very excited to get back on the field. That's the only part of this whole Cricket South Africa thing we can control, and we're eager to get back. Most of the guys are really, really training hard. So obviously, barring the fact that trying to understand why players take certain stances, just that support obviously will be unbelievable when we go forward.
So what excites you the most about the future of South African cricket? Obviously, when you look at the Culture Camp squad that was released, you look around the dressing room, quite a lot of young talent coming through the system. Someone like you is seen by us, I feel, and by me, I see you as one of the senior guys in the side that can really help the youngsters grow. I've heard some of your ex-teammates talking about the youngsters at the Lions, talking about your influence in the dressing room without you even knowing it, and your impact that you have as a person and as a player off the field and on the field. What excites you the most about cricket in South Africa looking forward in a positive note?
On a positive note, I probably think I can't speak for previous teams and I can't speak for previous culture camps. What is positive is I believe from a player's point of view, we're starting to understand each other better. Okay, and understanding, I mean, like where you come from. Like, I'm a Boertjie, I come from Rustenburg. It's a small town, but people understand what type of pressures I go under. I can now, because of the culture camp, because of the openness we had, I can understand where a player like Andile comes from and where we can help each other by understanding. Again, I'm very excited about that. I also feel like it comes. I think we are shifting towards a performance mentality. We've always been. I mean, it's all about performance. But now what's nice about, again, from the culture camp, we've got these measurables that we've set in place to, in a moment, in the heat of battle, to judge where are we at the moment. Are we doing what we set out to be doing, or are we worried about external factors? Are we worried about other stuff? And I'm really, really excited to see what this whole new not a new what do you call it, team vibe that has been created, but we've got a common goal that we have created, we have built upon, not that has been handed down through other teams. We've created our own culture, we've created our own set of values, our own performance goals, and our own performance measurables. It's going to be very fun being part of that whole setup and that whole process going forward. And I'm really excited about that, because I think we are getting to a stage where all the players involved, young players to old players to senior players, whatever you want to call it, are aligning to one common goal. Okay. I think that one common goal at the end of the day is performance, and performing at all costs. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what color you are, it's about performance. And I'm excited to see that coming forward. And obviously, as soon as we can get onto the field, we can start implementing. And that's going to be so exciting.
Awesome. That's awesome. So I'm just going to get to some of the fan questions that I did receive. It's a lot around tests, because a lot of players think that the test team is the actual focal point of cricket at the moment. That's where the most work is needed, I feel. But they say, what role do you see yourself playing in the test team?
Well, obviously, I would love to fill that all-rounder role. Obviously, I've been working really hard this COVID time to at least be 10 to 20% better than what I was before COVID. But obviously, to bat number 7, bowl my overs, take wickets, and score runs for South Africa. That's what I would like to do. And at the end of the day, if I get the opportunity again to do that, I'm working
basically your socks off.
Yes, I'm working the socks off to get to that stage, and hopefully I don't let the fans down when I'm in that position again. Obviously, we had a disappointing tour against England. We started off with a bang, everything went well, and then just lost important moments in that England tour. If we won those important moments, everyone would probably be saying something different. But I mean, that's how fine even Test cricket is. You lose one or two sessions, and suddenly you're on the back foot and you lose a Test match. It's just about making sure that I'm in the best position and in the best skill level to contribute to the team, and then hopefully my contributions can win matches. And that's what I'm trying to do going ahead in Test matches, having that match-winning contribution in a Test match, and being the guy that people can rely on and know what they'll get from me, bringing that consistency into my performance.
Yeah, so obviously there was a lot of discussions amongst fans that I saw online about obviously Vernon Philander leaving, and he's leaving a vacant position over there as an all-rounder. Now, he's not going to like me for saying this, but he was very much seen as a bowling all-rounder, where his bowling was the main thing and his batting was also very good, but it came secondary. For you, are you focusing more on becoming that batting, being in the team for your batting more than your bowling, or is it kind of combined, or is it more bowling than batting? What do you see yourself as?
Well, I think in the balance of the team, it's important that I offer both. Obviously, I would love to average 100 batting, and I would love to average 2 bowling. Obviously, those type of things are very rare. You're probably not going to get that. But just to whatever I do, just create balance in the team, so that when Dwaine gets the ball, this is what I know he's going to do and contribute there. If I need to bat and score runs. At the end of the day, as long as I can contribute to a winning team, that is my most important goals. I mean, Vern is a class act. It doesn't really matter how you look at it. I mean, if you look at, there were spells in his career where he won the game bowling, but there were innings in his career where he won games batting. And at the end of the day, if you want to be rated as a 50-50 all-rounder, or a batting all-rounder, or bowling all-rounder, it all comes down to performance. If I can be the guy that puts in performances more consistently, that actually win matches for the team, then I'm doing my job, and then I'll be happy. Doesn't matter what my average is either way. As long as in those moments where I need to put my hand up, I can give myself the best chance to do that. That is what I'll be aiming to do, instead of just like going for, okay, well, I need to average 40. It's all good me averaging 40 or 50 and we're still losing matches. It's all about in those moments that you really are needed to contribute. I mean, taking it back, my biggest disappointment from the England series on a personal note was when I came in, I think in the last session of day 5, where we've really grafted really hard to get it to that stage, getting out and causing a loss, where that would have been a winning draw or a draw for us as a win. And that is where those type of situations going forward, I would like to, even if I don't score a run, it's about getting the team over the line. And in that case, for us, a win would have been a draw. And that is basically what I want to build my career going forward in is about winning matches or getting your team into a situation where they can pounce and win.
Awesome. So lastly, from a cricketing perspective, how excited are you of the young talent in South African cricket? As we can see in the domestic scene, a lot of senior guys have retired and moved on. So a lot of the youngsters now kind of have to step up in senior positions. You can see, like, for example, at the Cobras, that's happening. You can see at the Warriors, that's happening too. I don't know if that's happening at the Lions. I think there's a lot of experienced guys that you actually brought into the Lions side. Titans, similar thing is happening. A lot of guys are retiring and new guys, fresh blood is coming through. How excited are you about the young future talent in this country at the moment?
I'm very excited. I think there's a lot of talent going around. I mean, just look at all the teams, and it's very exciting. But I think what is important, and also as fans and as players, to not lose sight of, is that it's all good to be young and exciting. You still need to get that experience somewhere. And it's important that I still believe that there is a place in any team for senior players, because when I started off, I had Neil McKenzie, I had Alvaro Peterson, I had that time Pumi also a very experienced player. I played with Imi. I played with Maury at that stage, which was also very experienced compared to my experience. And I learned so much from them. If it wasn't for them, my career would probably have gone back at least a season or two, and I would only maybe have reached the heights that I would have maybe 2 years later. So I think it's really important that as a whole fan system and as a team system and franchises and even the Proteas, we do still realize that there's a massive importance for those senior players. Even though there's so much young, exciting talent coming, they need to be not nurtured, but just guided in the right ways. When Vesey came into our system, I tried to at least add as much value as I can to his game on a personal note. Even though we might be competing, it's not necessarily always about competing, but it's about, how can I get the best out of my fellow player? And I think that is very important. If you're just going, look at Quinny. Who was his guy when Quinny came in? Ashley Mamla, one of the most experienced, most successful players ever to play white ball in one day cricket. Quinny is so talented. I don't want to say he wouldn't have been as successful, but it might have taken him a longer time to get to that stage. And so it's really important to still have that mix of experience and young players, because I still believe there's a space for them in any environment. It just increases that learning curve. It's the same if you look at business. If you start a business, your learning curve, it takes so long for you. But if you start your 10th business, then your learning curve goes up. It's just about increasing that learning curve for players, and hopefully they don't have to make the same mistakes I've made. And that's every time when I chat to Vesey, I tell him, listen, this is the mistakes I've made. If you want to listen. This is what I've learned, but at least he still has the decision if he wants to or not. And then at the end of the day, at least as a senior player, I've done my job in that whole thing, and hopefully I can increase his learning curve. So instead of him only reaching his full potential when he's 28, he can maybe reach it when he's 25. And hear stories about AB and how he started and how much influence the senior players and the experienced players had on him. It just goes to show you that those experienced players are so important. My batting game, just by sharing a change room with Faf, has developed immensely just by listening and understanding and trying to learn from his mistakes. It is so vitally important that we still don't lose sight of that. And maybe, people keep saying the franchise system is bad, but still to this day, if you look at the MSL compared to other T20 leagues, I still believe it's one of the best T20 leagues there is, most competitive, good quality cricket. But it's because there's so many senior players in there, still doing their job, and players can learn from them. And that's a big, big growing ground for our young players. If you see the young players coming through, most of them have started with the MSL, maybe started slowly, but in the second season of MSL, they've done really well. It's a growing ground. And sometimes in franchise cricket, I believe the senior players get either booted very early, or the value of them doesn't get seen as much as the younger player. So senior players are very, very important still in franchise cricket. Even though there's younger players you want to get through, it's important that they have got a very important role in developing the younger talent coming through.
Thanks a lot, Dwaine. That was an amazing conversation. I got a lot of insights, and I'm sure the fans did too. We'll chat again sometime, and good luck for the new season.
No problem. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man. So that's all I have for you guys today. I know there was a lot of insight and a lot to take in over there. Please, to help us, share this video with everybody that you can. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you can get notifications of all future uploads and all our live streams. This is the month of our new issue of the magazine. It's our third issue available. It's about Vision 2023 and looking into the future of South African cricket. Please go and download the magazine. The link is on the screen and in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.